Well, good morning, Arkansas, and a happy Sunday to everybody out there around the state. We finally have things back in line. Xfinity kind of basically prevented us from doing updates yesterday, but we are back this morning, and really nothing much to mention except for the heat wave has begun across the state. Of course, we are coming in dry this morning across the state. No rain to be seen, unlike the past several days where we have seen rain and storms around, as well as plenty of cloud cover to keep the heat from really building in. And that's really going to be the case over the day and next several days as we start to track really just a widespread heat wave coming in. It's not going to be anything that we haven't already seen this summer, but it's going to be definitely noticeable compared to the fact we've been in the 80s over the past several days. But so far this morning it is much warmer than it has been over the past several days, coming in 88 in Texarkana, 86 in Mena, 88 in Mount Ida this morning, 82 in Fayetteville, 81 up in Mountain Home, 81 in Jonesboro, and 84 here in the capital city. So really overall it's a pretty warm morning out there across the state. Of course, it is 10 o'clock in the morning. We did start out in the 70s and 80s across the state this morning as well. Now, obviously, it is hot, but those heat indexes are already coming up this morning. We already have a heat index of 108 in Arkadelphia and Camden this morning, so already feeling that heat. 100 in Hot Spring, and keep in mind it is 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's already 97 and 98 in Mount Ida, and 96 in Pine Bluff. So it's going to be a very warm day across the state, and as I mentioned, we have a heat advisory in effect for much of the central and southern parts of the state. This does start at noon and go till 7 this evening. We will see this obviously extended through much of the upcoming week as well. But for the most part, though, it's just going to be a very typical heat wave. Highs in the mid to upper 90s, heat index values 105 to 110, with those isolated areas of 105 plus or 110 plus. Now, northern Arkansas, we won't see quite the heat index readings, mainly 98 to 103, but we could see very isolated areas of 105. I expect you to be added as we go later into the week, as we start to see that heat really come up across the state. But for the most part, obviously a warm and a humid start to the day across the state. As I mentioned, hot and humid day across the state. Heat advisory is in effect. Only a stray shower or storm will be possible. I have gone statewide isolated chances, but the greater chances to see an isolated storm will be in the north and northeast, where the high pressure has not quite built in just yet. That being said, don't expect much at all. It'll be similar to what we saw yesterday. Very isolated chance of a shower or storm around. As we go into the overnight hours, not much relief either there, as those temperatures remain in the 70s to around 80, and the humidity stays up as well across the state. So really not much to be seen over the next several days as we continue to track really nothing much but the heat across the state. Now, obviously, it's going to be a warm one again, 92 in the Ozarks, 93 in northeast Arkansas, but as we head down towards the River Valley and into the southern parts of the state, 96, 95, and then, of course, 90, 96 across much of southern Arkansas, 94 here in central, and, of course, 95 down in the Delta. Now, keep in mind, even though these are high temperatures, your heat index readings will be 105 to 110 plus across much of this part of the state. So it's going to be a very warm and muggy day. And then, of course, as we're heading into the overnight hours, lows only down into the mid to upper 70s. So again, not much relief there as well. It's just going to be one of those very days that you want to stay inside. Again, very low chance of rain, and cloud cover will be seen off and on, but most of it will be sun with a mix of sun and clouds across the state this afternoon. We are tracking excessive heat across the state this upcoming week, but also watching for a possibility of at least a small cool down next weekend, and also keep an eye on the tropics as well. We will have much more coming up on that this evening, right here on your source for all things Arkansas weather.